The dog's name was Vegas. He was a 95-pound black and tan German Shepherd with one slightly crooked ear, a souvenir from a night 3 years earlier when he'd pulled a drunk tourist off the Bellagio fountain ledge. The man had lived. Vegas had gotten a steak dinner from security in a permanent home with a quiet off-duty pit boss named Caleb Morse. Caleb never called him boy or buddy. He called him Vegas, always with the same soft Nevada drawl. Come on, Vegas. Time to walk. They lived in a one-bedroom apartment above a closed-down wedding chapel on Flamingo, 2 miles east of the Strip where the neon starts to thin out and the city remembers it's just desert pretending. Every night at 2 a.m., when Caleb's graveyard shift at the MGM ended, they walked the same 4-mile loop, past the Gold Lion, down the empty service roads behind the casinos, across the big concrete wash that everyone calls the Las Vegas Wash even though it's bone dry 10 months of the year. That wash was where it happened. Night 1. The fall. July in Las Vegas is a furnace that never cools. Even at 2:30 a.m. the asphalt still radiates yesterday's 115 degrees. Caleb had just bought Vegas a pup cup from the 24-hour Dutch Bros on the way home. Vanilla ice cream in a paper cup. Vegas carried it proudly in his mouth the whole way, refusing to lick until Caleb said the magic word, okay. They were crossing the Wash Bridge, really just a wide slab of concrete over a 40-foot drop, when the accident happened. A lifted Dodge Hellcat came screaming north on the service road, tires howling, bass rattling windows a block away. The driver was racing someone who wasn't even there. He lost control on the curve, jumped the curb, clipped Caleb dead center. Impact was instant. Caleb flew 20 feet, over the low railing, into the blackness of the wash below. The Hellcat spun out, stalled, and the driver, 19, drunk, crying, stumbled out and ran. Vegas never saw the car. He only saw Caleb disappear. He sprinted to the edge, barking in a register he'd never used before, sharp, panicked, desperate. The drop was sheer concrete. Even a dog couldn't climb it. He paced the lip, whining, then barking again, then silence when he realized no one was coming. Headlights swept past on the road above. No one stopped. In Las Vegas, people see things they pretend they don't. Vegas lay down on the warm concrete ledge and waited. He waited until the sun rose like a punishment at 5:47 a.m., turning the sky the color of a healing bruise. Day 1. The search. Metro Police came at noon. They found blood on the railing, tire marks, a single shoe, Caleb's left New Balance. They looked over the edge, saw nothing but beer cans and creosote bushes, and wrote it up as a probable hit and run with ejection. Body likely dragged or thrown farther downstream. They'd send a cadaver dog in the morning. Vegas never left. Security from half the Strip knew him. They brought water bowls, In-N-Out double-doubles, even a raw ribeye once. Vegas took nothing. He lay sphinx-like on the exact spot where Caleb's scent trail ended, nose pointed into the void. At night the temperature dropped to 98. He shivered but didn't move. Day 2. The heat. By the second afternoon the wash was an oven. Heat shimmered off the concrete walls. Flies droned. Metro's cadaver dog, a distracted Malinois who'd rather chase lizards, swept the channel and alerted vaguely 200 yards downstream. They poked around with poles, found nothing, called it off until cooler weather. Vegas knew better. He began digging at the expansion joint where the bridge met the sidewall. His paws bled. He kept digging. Day 3. The scent. 72 hours. That's how long it takes in Las Vegas summer for a body to speak. At 4:11 p.m. on the third day, the wind shifted. A hot gust rose from the depths of the wash, pushed upward by the pressure of cooler air moving in from the mountains. It carried everything. Dried blood, dried sweat, the faint ghost of the cedar and citrus cologne Caleb wore because It smells like real trees, not the fake ones they pump into the casinos. Vegas was lying with his head on his paws, eyes half closed against the glare, when the scent hit him like a slap. He froze. Every muscle locked. Ears shot forward. Nostrils flared so wide the skin stretched white. Then he moved. Not frantic. Deliberate. He walked to the metal storm drain grate set into the lowest part of the bridge footing, a grate nobody ever noticed because it was flush with the ground and half buried in blown sand. Vegas shoved his muzzle between the bars. Inhaled once. Twice. A third time, deeper than seemed possible. His entire body began to tremble. A low sound came out of him, not a howl, not a whine. Something older. A mourning song from wolves that used to roam these valleys before atomic bombs and wedding chapels. People on the sidewalk above stopped. Phones came out. Someone started crying without knowing why. Vegas lay down on the grate, chest pressed flat, nose wedged as far through the iron as it would go. He inhaled his human in slow, deliberate breaths, as if he could fill his lungs with Caleb and keep him alive inside his own body. He stayed there until sunset turned the sky the color of a losing poker chip. Day 4. The discovery. The video went viral overnight. Loyal dog refuses to leave drain where owner disappeared, Las Vegas. By morning, news trucks lined Flamingo. A Metro sergeant who actually gave a damn brought a fiber optic camera. They fed it down through the grate Vegas had guarded for 4 days. 23 feet below, wedged against a concrete baffle no one knew existed, was Caleb. The fall had killed him instantly. The baffle had kept the body from washing farther in the flash flood 2 nights earlier. Rescue pulled him out at 10:06 a.m. Vegas watched from the shade of a police cruiser someone had parked for him. He didn't bark, didn't strain at the leash a tech had slipped on him. When they zipped the black bag, he simply stood up, walked to the gurney, and placed one paw on the edge of it, gentle, like he was saying, "I've got him now." They let him ride in the coroner's van all the way to the morgue. No one had the heart to say no. After, the driver of the Hellcat turned himself in 2 days later when the footage of Vegas lying on that grate broke him. He's doing 15 years. Caleb had no family. In his will written on a napkin and kept in the shop safe, he left everything to "my dog Vegas and whoever is kind enough to take him." The MGM security team tried. So did half the dealers on the strip. Vegas went home with none of them. He lives in the wash now. Not under the bridge too many tourists leave flowers and dog toys. He claimed a spot half a mile downstream where the concrete ends and real desert begins. At night he walks the old route alone. Past the lion, past the closed wedding chapel with the faded Elvis silhouette, across the bridge where Caleb's blood still stains the railing if you know where to look. Sometimes a Lyft driver will spot him in the headlights. Tall, black and tan, one crooked ear silhouetted against the glow of the strip. They slow down, roll the window. "Hey, Vegas." He stops, turns, regards them with ancient, patient eyes. The stub of his tail lifts once, barely a wag, more a memory of joy. Then he keeps walking, nose low, following the scent that only he can still smell on the hot night wind. Because in Las Vegas, everything disappears eventually. Money, dreams, water, people. But a dog's love, that stays.